Hey everybody, Superintendent Mike Malmberg here. This is our new teacher introduction video that we always share at the beginning of the year. You'll see some new faces around the building here in the next few days, so we want to do a quick introduction of them to you so you get a chance to see their face and learn a little bit something about them. So we're going to start today with Chris Kapler. Chris is going to be PE Health and also long-term sub. Chris, I also see you were a volunteer firefighter, EMS responder for 7 years. Thank you for your service for that. You're also a graduate of Gustavus.
Yes, I am.
Proud MIAC member myself. I took it to Gustavus pretty good in my career. I had to tease you there a little bit.
Fair enough.
But you're also going to be an expected father coming up here, I believe, the second time in November.
Yep, correct.
So tell us a little bit, are you excited about not being a hobby parent anymore? You're going to be a full-time parent. You're going to have two, right?
Yeah, so I have a 2-year-old who's at the Learning Ladder in Pillager, and then we're expecting a little girl in November, so we're very excited about her.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you taking the opportunity to be with us here this year, and look forward to everything you can bring to us. So thanks for coming.
Excellent, thank you very much.
With us next is Matt Soberg. Matt's going to be teaching business with us. Matt, you've had many hats in your career. You doctorate from William Mitchell in Law. And you've also been an editor of the, I believe it's called Covey Rise magazine.
That's right.
And you're an avid bird hunter.
That's right.
So I want to know, tell us a little bit about your decision to go back into education. Why?
Yeah, I've tried a lot of different things in my career, and honestly, over the last 10 years, this is something I've wanted to do. I really like coaching, youth sports, and also just want to give back to a good school and give back to a good community.
Nice. Bird hunter, what's your choice of a bird dog?
You got to go English setters.
Okay.
I have 3 of them, and like to grouse hunt around here, not too far away.
Sure. I'm a lab guy myself, but but that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you coming today, and we're looking forward to all the talents that you can bring to us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
With us next is Jenny Carlson. I don't know if you prefer Jenny or Jennifer, or does either one by Jenny. Jenny is going to be a speech language pathologist with us. You recently did a travel therapist in a school setting in Washington. Tell us what that adventure was like.
Yeah, so I took a couple contracts out in Washington. One was in person, then COVID hit, and then we went to remote. So I was doing teletherapy the past, good year. So yeah, and actually I was working at Robertson Elementary, and they have a high Spanish-speaking population. So I got to work with a lot of interpreters and things. So
now you know Spanish.
hey, basically.
Yes, nice. You have a connection to the area. What was the connection?
My grandparents are from here. My mom, she went to school here, so she was a Husky. And my mom is now living at my grandparents' place, and that's where I'm staying right now.
So everybody in the family was a Husky? Well, your mom was.
My mom was.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to have you, and looking forward to working with you this year.
Yes, me too.
Thanks. All right, with us next is Laura Walksmith.
Yep.
I believe is how you say it. Laura is going to be teaching special ed for us. This is your second stint with the school district.
Yes.
We're excited to have you back. You've been overseas in Finland with your husband
That's
and
right.
family.
Yeah.
Tell us about that journey.
It was incredible. Finland is actually a lot like Minnesota. There's a lot of times when you didn't even feel like you were in another country because it felt like so much like home. I mean, it's no wonder why the Scandinavians came to Minnesota and this area, because it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Lakes and trees and
Very similar. We do
Yeah.
have a couple staff members that I know they swear they're going to move to Finland at some point. So Adam TH, that's for you, I think. But we're excited to have you back. I know I believe your children are also coming
Yeah.
to school here
Yeah.
as well. Welcome back to the area, and we're looking forward to seeing you.
thank you.
With us next is Sadie Jordan. Sadie will be teaching first grade. You're brand new to the profession, I
Brand
believe.
new,
Brand
just
new teacher.
graduated.
So be nice to her, everybody. We don't want to run her off right away in the first year. If I could go back and myself and think about the first year, it's going to be trying, but you'll get through it, and
Yes.
people will help you. You have a 2-year-old daughter,
Yes.
Right.
She turns 2 in October.
okay? That's awesome. But one of the things I caught about in your history was you're a snowboarder,
A little bit.
a little bit.
Not extravagant, but
Okay.
down the hill at least.
Down the hill. Well, that's more than I would do. But you're also a softball player.
Yes.
Did you Tell us a little bit about that journey, your softball world.
I have played softball for as long as I can remember, since I was a wee one. I played for many years for Brainerd High School, played summer ball for my dad. I was a center fielder, batted second in the lineup, lefty.
Lefty. Did you slap hit?
Yep.
Yep, you were a slapper, huh?
A runner.
A runner, yeah. Yeah, that's a skill that's really cool when they can develop that skill. But,
Yeah.
well, we appreciate you having time with us here today, Sadie, and looking forward to you working with the first graders, and I know that team will take care of you.
Thank you.
Thanks. We're back with Paul Clark. Paul is going to be PE, doing some steps, teaching for us, community ed and youth sports. So, little history with you and I. I coached with your dad, and I also coached you and your brother years ago. So, kind of nice to. I got a lot of. I suppose we probably have a little bit on each of us. So it would be nice. We have to be nice to each other, because as soon as you get something on me, I got something on you. So, you and your wife adopted 4 children.
Correct.
Tell us about that journey that you went on when you decided that was going to be your household.
Well, it was it was an interesting journey. We went the first 10 years of our marriage with no kids, and then all of a sudden 4. Bam. So it was good. It definitely made our lives better. I started out, my cousin was doing some foster care for a young one, and we said, well, that'd be kind of cool. That's how it started off,
And behold, four children later, and your house grew. Well, that says a lot about you guys, you and your family and your wife. Also, you're going to do a lot of youth sports with us. I know your history of that, and we're looking forward to all the things that you can do there for us, and also a head football coach as well. And so, welcome to Pillager, and looking forward to all the things you can do for us.
all right, looking forward to it myself.
Thanks. Next with us is Liz Benson. Liz is going to be doing elementary social worker with us. Your journey has been one that's kind of taken you along a different path into the social work field. Share us a little bit about that journey that you took to get to the elementary social work.
I was originally started early childhood, then was a para for elementary school for about 10 years. And then during COVID, I realized there's a lot of hurting kids out there, and families. Yeah. And so I decided to go back to school and pursue my degree, and got my bachelor's in social work.
That's nice. I also saw that your son is a baseball player, and you've been chasing him around the last few years, lots of baseball games.
We have. He'll be a senior this year at Brainerd High School, and right now being scouted by several different colleges, so it's been pretty cool.
Cool. Well, looking forward to hearing his news and where he ends up. And we're excited to have you here in Pillager, and looking forward to having you here.
I'm excited to be here.
Thanks. I'm with Leah Sparks. Leah is going to be doing elementary special ed. You student taught in Pillager
I did.
years ago, and now you're back full time.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that, and who you student taught with, maybe,
Yeah.
and then what brought you back to Pillager.
Yeah, I student taught with Melissa Boats, and we had a lot of fun and worked really well together, and I learned a lot from her, and went to Brainerd for 10 years, but then my heart's always been in Pillager, so.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you learned the good things from Melissa and
Yeah.
not the bad things, right? So,
Yeah, a little bit.
yeah, a little bit of both. Well,
Yep.
we're excited to have you back in Pillager, and funny sometimes how journeys take you around and you end up somewhere where you started. So
Yeah, I'm excited.
we're excited for you to be here. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
I'm with Kelsey Rahm. Kelsey is a speech language pathologist assistant. You grew up in Aiken area, and then you served 2 years in the AmeriCorps Vista program. What was that journey?
It was incredible. I learned things that I probably wouldn't have learned before. My project mainly focused on children birth to 5 years old, and we wanted to give resources to that age group to get them ready for kindergarten. We targeted specifically families of low income or immigrants and refugees who are underserved in the community, so they don't have as many resources available to them. So
we made it our mission to give those resources to those families.
You also, I noted that you got into being a speech language pathologist. We have something in common. You had speech services as a young child, right? So did I. I had many years of speech, so I can still pick up a little bit of a wisp in my ear, and you sit there for all those years. And I've often said to my mom years ago, you know, I don't know where I'd be without the speech person in my life, because I had a really tough time when I was younger. So I can see how it kind of grew on you, because I have that fondness in myself of the services that I needed as a young kid. You don't think about it, but as you get older, you look back and say, boy, did that make a difference in your life. So appreciate that you have joined our team, and looking forward to having you here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks. I'm with Megan Trout. Many of you will know Megan Trout, some of you may not. Megan is with us back, the second stint as ELA. You left, we had some couple budget changes a few years back, and now you're back. So you live on a farm.
I do live on a farm.
You have 2 cats, 4 goats, and ducks.
Yes.
Why the goats? I want to know this story.
Everybody wants to know that. So my husband's family's had a farm for a really long time, and pet animals don't do super well on farms in general. They've gone through a lot of cats and dogs just because lots of things on farms happen to animals. And I wanted pets that were a little sturdier and that could potentially be useful. I actually got to milk one of them when she had a surprise baby shortly after we got her. So they're useful pets, and they're my babies. So.
All right, 4 goats. So that's kind of interesting. It's, we're excited for you to be back. And I know your heart was always here before you left, and we're hoping to keep you around for a long time.
That is my hope as well.
Right.
I'm very happy to be back.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.
We're with Cassie Heiser. Cassie's going to do a couple long-term sub positions for us. You Bemidji State a couple times, right?
Yeah,
back at school, second degree. You were an executive director, I believe, of Bridges of Hope.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about that journey, and then what made you decide to go back into education?
Yeah, so I ended up working, like you said, at Bridges of Hope for about 15 years, and through that process just increasingly learned about challenges that families have, kind of from the other side of it. I had, like you said, originally thought I was going to do education, and I think the human services really prepared me for the realities of families. And during COVID, I just realized, you know what, I think it's time to come back and, you know, pursue one of my first loves. So I'm back in school.
Awesome.
I'm happy to be here.
And you have, I believe, tell us a little bit about children. You have some
Yes.
that go to school here?
I do. Well, I myself am a Pillager grad.
Okay, you're a Pillager.
As is my father. So it's 3rd generation now.
All
So I
right.
have 2 boys in high school and middle school.
Awesome. You're going to see Mom around a little bit then.
They will,
All right.
yeah.
Well, we're excited and thankful that you decided to go back into the education field.
Thanks.
Thanks.
You too.
With Jeremy Frank. Jeremy Frank's going to be elementary special ed teacher. You're not totally new, as you did a long-term sub position here last spring. We also, I know, taught quite a few years in Cold Spring for Corey. But you're also in the National Guard for 28 years, I believe, correct?
Yes, I just retired in 2020.
28 years. Well, thanks for your service for that. You also love to ride motorcycle.
I do.
So what's your motorcycle of choice? I know everybody's dying to know, what does Jeremy Frank ride?
Well, the group I ride with rides pretty much everything. You know, a lot of people are loyal to Harley and whatnot, but I ride a Honda VTX Retro.
Okay.
So, yep.
Nice. What's your longest trip that you've been on?
I actually just got back from a trip at West Yellowstone. So we went down to Jackson Hole, stopped in Sturgis, hit Beartooth Pass on the way back. So about 3,000 miles. That's plenty to ride in about 8 or 9 days.
Yeah, that's a common trip for a lot of
I love
people. One of my friends did Route 66 this last summer on a motorcycle with a group, and said that was a blast too. So
that's on my bucket list.
Yeah,
so
one of the original highways that, you know, a lot of different stops along the way. Well, we're excited to have you back here in Pillager full time.
Yeah, well, thank you.
And looking forward to it.
I'm excited to be here.
Thanks, Jeremy. With Emily Anderson. Emily's going to be teaching special education for us. Like a few other staff members, you decided to leave the metro area and come up to the Great North. You have a connection to this area. What's that connection to this part of the state?
So I have family that live up here. I have a lot of relatives, cousins, and then my brother and sister-in-law, and just a lot of relatives live up here. So I'm excited to be up here.
Nice. Tell us a little bit about what you taught and what are you going to be teaching this year?
So I taught special education, and it was in elementary, and then this year I'm doing middle school. So I'm excited for the change. I've always wanted a different grade level, so.
Awesome. And I actually, you worked in a district in a school that I was there before, and you were at the school that I was at before I previously came here for a year, I believe. Didn't see each other much because you did a couple different buildings, but we can always bring one more of those elks to the area. I know Jason and I are excited that we got one more of us. So Emily, we're glad that you're here with us and looking forward to the talents that you bring to our district.
Thank you. I'm excited to start.
Thanks.